Okay, take 100,378. Hey y'all, welcome to another video. Okay, so little prerequisites, because I feel like this video is going to be so long. I know it is. If you are new to my channel, this is not where you should start. This is not the video for you. Not right now, okay? I need you to go watch a few and then come back later if you so choose. This video is for people who watch me, people who want to know more about me, because we're gonna get into some things today. So, oh, this is much better actually, much better position. A few weeks ago, I told y'all to ask me some questions that you wanted me to answer in an upcoming video, and this is that video. So y'all send me some questions in from Instagram and YouTube. If you're not following me on Instagram, what are you doing? You should be. Okay, y'all asked me some juicy stuff. Y'all asked me some vulnerable things too. And I'm gonna try my hardest not to get emotional today because some questions are a little, personal. But I wanted to do this video because I haven't done a Q&A video in nearly 2 years. For one, obviously a lot has changed. I have a lot of life updates to give. And also, I told y'all to ask, so I asked for this. I'll be honest with y'all, I have filmed this video so many times and I'm finally at a point where I feel comfortable because previous takes, 100,372, I wasn't lying, okay y'all, it's been a minute. Previous takes, I didn't prepare my answers and this is the first time I ever felt the need to prepare my answers for a Q&A. I just want y'all to look. I want y'all to look. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna get into a lot today. Y'all asked me about dating, y'all asked me am I in love, y'all asked me have I decided where to live, y'all asked me about my family, y'all asked me about my parents, y'all asked me about money. Y'all asked me a lot. Group trips, everything. So let's get into the first question. I'm going to be going back and forth from Instagram questions and YouTube questions. And let's get started because we're gonna be here for a while. Yeah. First question, this is from YouTube. How do you manage to be so bold and open to new adventures while staying grounded and discerning? Also, I know you're deep into your African exploration era. Can we hope for some China/Southeast Asia vlogs in the not too distant future? This is from Marco. So honestly, I've always been this way. I've always been the risk taker. I've always been more on the impulsive side, super independent, super just like dance to the beat of my own drum ever since I was a kid. And I've always been very open-minded, right? So I always loved to try new things and just kind of, if everybody was zigging, I'm over here zagging. So I didn't pick that up from travel. That's just who God destined me to be, okay? But I do feel like the discernment aspect comes from a mix of like childhood trauma and just being in the business world and just navigating all the different lives I've lived, which we're kind of going to get into more. I don't know, we're going to get into that today, or is that the next video? We'll see. Yeah, and just overall trusting myself and trusting my gut and just knowing that my intuition will never lead me astray. Like, I know that's so much easier said than done because it has taken me quite a lot to get to this point where I can just trust myself and listen to my first mind the first time versus needing to know all the information at that moment. You know what I mean? I feel like every single time I didn't listen to my first mind, I regretted it, so definitely just learning to trust myself, follow my gut, and literally I've gotten so much better at it to where now I don't question my intuition. If if I get a little inkling, I don't need any proof. And Southeast Asia is definitely on my list. So 2025 was dedicated to Africa. I've said this a few times, but 2026 was supposed to be dedicated to Asia. But the way my life works, ain't no telling. Baby, I could just literally wake up and be like, I want to go to Asia next week. Let me see what flights to Thailand look like, or Sri Lanka, which I'm like itching to go to Sri Lanka right now. I don't know why. So yeah, definitely on my list. I wanted to take a year to do Asia properly because there's so much to see and do, but I may not wait till next year. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, next question is also from YouTube. Want to know about my coins. Okay, so the question is, how do you get so much money to travel? This is from the bread 5384. Okay, I do have a video on my channel about basically, oh yeah, my past life, I guess. Basically what I was doing way before I started traveling, how I travel. I don't work. I have not had a job since 2018. Okay, we're in 2025. So for the last 7 years, I have been efficiently handling my business, okay? When I first started traveling, it was literally me and my savings for a very long time, okay? I don't have a business, right? So in order to travel, you need money. This was originally supposed to be a 1-year thing. I was supposed to just take a 1-year sabbatical, you know, just try to get back to myself, try to just see the world for a little bit and like decide if I was gonna move abroad longer. When I left, I was in a very bad mental place. And when I say very bad, it was bad. It was literally leave or leave, if you know what I mean. And so it was only supposed to be 1 year for me to try to get back to myself, right? And for me to travel, it's been 2 years. For me to have traveled this long, I would say about a year in, I knew I had needed to figure out what was I gonna do about income, generating income, because for 1 year straight, there was no income being generated. There was just basically outgoing, right? So all this money I'm spending for a year straight. I want y'all to wrap your head around that. Let's say you wake up tomorrow and decide to quit your job and travel the world. How far are you gonna go if you don't have a job, if you don't have a business, if you have no income, you don't have any retirement, but aside maybe a few investments, how long? All right. So a little over a year, I'm like, all right, we need to be figuring some money out because I need money coming in. A lot of money is going out, right? So it's either start another business or become the business. And so I posted a video talking about, you know, how I travel without working. And someone left this comment on my channel and they basically was like, why won't you just go all in on your channel basically and just do content creation like full time? And I was like, I mean, I kind of thought of it, but like, is that feasible? You know what I mean? Like, how realistic is that? Because I prefer to be behind the scenes. I prefer to be the girl behind the brand. You know what I mean? Even though I've always been on social media, I love social media. I just did not really, at that moment, think this could be my career. This could be the business, you know? And so that comment really stayed in my mind for quite some time. And that was almost a year ago. And so fast forwarded to answer your question, I am a monetized content creator girl. And my goal for this year is to scale my business, my content creator business, to multiple 6 figures, which I can do it because it's me. So it's gonna happen. Now, I do want to do more videos on this particular topic of just like becoming a paid creator. You know, I got like 2 videos on my channel and I haven't posted on this topic in like a year or a long time, a few months. And so there is a newsletter. If you are trying to do content creation and you want to become a paid content creator, comment paid. Just comment paid in the comments and I'll send y'all the link to this newsletter that you need to be on. Yeah. Okay, but moving on. I answered the question. When I first started, it was my savings, and now I'm a monetized travel creator. I don't have to touch my savings, and I will be scaling my business to multiple 6 figures this year, which Jasmine Giselle is the business. Okay. And again, if you yourself want to become a paid travel creator, just comment paid and I'll send you the link to this newsletter I've been talking about. Trust me, you want to be on the newsletter, okay? So let's talk about what all of you guys want to talk about apparently, which is my dating life. So this question says, are you in a relationship? How is dating abroad? I am very much not in a relationship. I am a single girl living a very single life, okay? I have a very full dating life, but it's very complex. It feels like I'm constantly on a roller coaster. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's like I'm at the terminal, minding my business, and then boom, here come a ride. It's up, it's down, it's all around, baby, and then boom, back at the terminal. And we just start all over again. You know, it's fun, but it's like, can I get off this right now? Like, can I get off? But yeah, I would say dating has been interesting, especially because I'm traveling. I'm traveling full time, and it just complicates things in such a major way. Like, I meet a lot of people, but it's most likely short-lived. Either I'm meeting people on my trips and they're there at the location too, and then they're gone, you know, which is most likely how it goes. Or I'm meeting someone in the country and then I'm just realizing that we're not compatible. And this could be due to cultural differences. This could be due to upbringing. It could be due to financials. So it's just interesting, but I don't think that is a bad thing. I feel like the more you date, the more you learn about yourself, right? Like I have learned so much about me, like where I am now versus where I was in my dating life 2 years ago, right? Like what I want, what I don't want, what I'm willing to compromise on, what are my absolute non-negotiables that I'm 100% about. I just kind of feel like every person that you date and you meet, you see a version of yourself in them, and it's either something you want to see or maybe something you don't want to see, but it's all a learning experience. And I'm so grateful to be on this journey because I've had beautiful experiences with people from all different walks of life and nationalities, and it's just been fun and it's been great. And like I'm not going to look back and have any regrets. I feel like I would regret it more had I been with like the same person since I was 18, because I'm not the same person as I was at 18, you know? So yeah, but I'm single. I have not met anyone that I'm willing to let me take off the market, babes. I'm having my way, and you're going to have to be something special to truly make me a non-single girl. Okay, next question, also from Instagram. Where has been your favorite place so far? To this day, my favorite place is Medellin, Colombia, South America. Yo, it's something so special about that place. I just remember certain days in my trip of just wondering and feeling like the place wasn't real. And just, it's so beautiful and it's so full of like culture and the food and the people and the scenery. Medellin is my favorite place. I've been to some amazing places, y'all, but Medellin, she just takes the cake. Like I can't wait to get back. I'm really trying to go back this year. I don't know how that's gonna be possible. I'm all the way over here in Kenya. Well, not possible, anything's possible. But Medellin, if you haven't been, I need you to book the trip. Yeah. Okay, next question. Will you ever take a group trip to Africa? 100%. I actually really want to do a group trip to Egypt. I feel like Egypt is a trip everybody needs to go on. And there's so much more to Egypt than the pyramids in Cairo. So I really want to see the coastal cities like Hurghada. Obviously, I want to see Aswan. I remember everybody was so mad I didn't go to Luxor and Aswan during my trip to Cairo. And I'm like, babes, I can always go back. This is not a one stop forever. Like I'm going back to Egypt. I would actually go back to Cairo and go back to the pyramids even though I already went. So yeah, we're going back. I would love to take a group trip to Egypt and see the coast. Okay, next question. Do you think you're going to continue traveling? And when I saw this question, I was just like, she gets me. I think it was a girl who asked this question. I was like, she gets me, because babe, there be times where I just want to stop. I'm not lying, y'all, but truth be told, I will always be traveling. I absolutely love traveling. I just think that in the future, traveling will definitely look different for me. You know, I won't be traveling as much. I won't be traveling as frequent because it becomes a point where it isn't fun anymore. Like having to live out a suitcase and pack and unpack is very old to me right now. It's been 2 years. And even though, you know, sometimes I may be in a place for like 3 months, 4 months, babe, 3-4 months, I'm up and I'm basically doing that dance again, and it won't go on forever. I think I talked about this a little bit in my last video, the video titled 2 months in Nairobi, I'm starting a brand new life. It's not sustainable. The solo female traveler brand that I've built is not sustainable. And that's why I'm currently trying to navigate what the future looks like for this brand, because as I told y'all, I want this to be my first multi-six-figure year as a content creator. In order for that to happen, I have to enjoy what I'm doing. I have to stay consistent. I have to put out quality content. But if I'm saying this isn't sustainable, you know, what's the workaround, right? So that's basically what my dilemma is and what I'm going to figure out. So it's not sustainable for it to continue to be my sole focus in the long term, right? It can be extremely isolating, tiresome, and just too much at times. Like, it's been 2 years, y'all. I feel like I make it look so easy. Well, just pat yourself on the back, girl. I do make it look easy, but it's not easy. And I don't want to like harper on the negative side and, you know, do the whole woe is me, because I am definitely grateful to be in a position to travel the way I have in the places I've been. However, I'm still human with human emotions, and it can be a lot, and it's not easy, and it's not for everyone. So I think I'm going to continue traveling. I'll always travel, but I would love to just meet the love of my life and we travel together, you know? But of course, I'll still always do my solo trips. Even if I'm married, I'll be taking solo trips, babes. It's never gonna change. But to the degree that I'm doing it, no, this won't go on forever. Next question is also from Instagram. This is a 3-part question. Y'all slick, because a lot of y'all did this. Asked me like 5 questions in one. Okay, it says, how are you mentally? How is your health? And where are we going next? Mentally, I'm in a good place. Like, I'm in a great place. Whew, I'm in a wonderful place. It's bliss and joy and butterflies up in my brain. I know a lot of y'all was basically like, I didn't vlog a lot in South Africa. I didn't show a lot of South Africa, but there was so much that went down in South Africa, y'all. One day y'all will hear the story times, but today isn't that day. But a lot happened, in 90 days. A lot went down, okay? And I experienced a lot of loneliness in South Africa. I just felt like I was constantly reminded that I'm alone. But even though I was surrounded by people who I thought viewed me as I viewed them, which turned out not to be true, I was just constantly reminded that I'm alone, like even in a room full of people, you know? And it was so heavy. It was very heavy. I feel like I went through some tough mental battles there due to certain circumstances that occurred in Johannesburg. It really had me ready to just go home. Like, I was homesick, like homesickness was on 100. It was just too much. It was too much. But I'm good now, okay? I'm good now. I don't have those worries. I don't have those days anymore. Like, my mental health is absolutely phenomenal. Health is great. Absolutely. I can't say absolutely phenomenal because, girl, I need to go get a checkup. I want to go to Istanbul. I don't know if y'all have seen those like full body health checkups. This girl did a TikTok where you can go to this hospital in Istanbul and basically get everything done. Eye check, brain check, freaking leg check, ultrasound, everything. Like, it's all in one. And so I'm actually considering going back to Istanbul to go to that hospital. We'll see. I just want to get like a full body checkup. Like, where else can you go and get a full body checkup, check everything? So I feel fine. I don't take any medications. I can walk, I can see, I can breathe. Blessed for all of those things. But I do want to go get the full body checkup just to make sure everything is working. Bones, veins, gallbladder, everything's working how she should be. So where to next? I'm actually headed to Europe at the end of May to go see my sister Shauna. She's going to be doing Spain and Italy. And so we're meeting up. I love my friends who literally just go out their way to see me because I don't take it lightly at all. So we're doing Europe, and I'm considering going to London in June. If you're in London, comment down below. I got to see Beyonce, and I'm like, where am I going to go see her? Because I'm not going home anymore. So where are we going to see B? It may just be London. So we'll see. Stay tuned. So speaking of which, the next question says, are you ever going back to the US? I was actually planning on it. I was supposed to go home the beginning of May because, like I mentioned, I've been super homesick. I really, really miss my friends. I miss my dad. I haven't been home in a year. Like, that's insane for me to think about. I haven't seen my dad in a year. I can't think about it. I'm gonna cry. So I was planning on going home, but I decided against it due to the climate of the country. It gave me a lot of anxiety just thinking about going home and just everything that's happening at the airports and people being detained and just the uneasiness of what's happening, what's going to happen, and like, it's just too much. I just didn't feel good about it, and so I just decided we're not going home right now. So, all right, another man question. How has your experience been with the men there? The men here are very forward. In Nairobi, they're very, very forward. I get a lot of attention, obviously, but let me stop playing. Yeah, they're very forward. Like, if they want you or they're interested, they make that interest known. They're very kind, very educated. Like the spaces I've been in, the men all have college degrees, great careers, living their best life. So yeah, I would say my experience here with the men in Nairobi have been wonderful. All right, so we're taking it back to YouTube, and this question is from Teresa. Being a mom of 4 grown kids, also attended school in Germany and loves to travel. What does your parents think about your journey? So I can't answer this question for my father, so I figured I would let him answer it himself. I told him to send me a voice note with his answer, and I haven't heard it. I actually haven't heard it, so I'm going to play it for y'all, and let's see what my daddy has to say. Now, he sent this in like 2 weeks after I told him the question, so hopefully he remembered the question. I don't even know.
What do I think about my daughter traveling? Well, as a father, as a protector, as a parent, I feel all of those normal feelings you would think: fear, anxiety, worry, because I'm very far away from you and I can't be there if something goes wrong to help you out quickly. But on a deeper level, the culture, the courage, the character that you're gaining, this is going to allow you to thrive in life regardless of the situation that you face. And I think those life lessons that you're gaining and the experience you're gaining is priceless. And I am very supportive of you, and I'm definitely very proud of you as you continue in your journey of traveling abroad.
Oh, daddy. Oh. I did not think I was gonna cry. Why did I cry? It wasn't even sad. It wasn't even a sad voice note. Like I mentioned, y'all, it's not easy. Like, it's so not easy being away from everybody you know, everything you know. I want y'all to imagine, I haven't been home in a year, right? And my daddy never sent me voice notes. I think maybe that's why I also got emotional, because we probably talk, I don't know, every 10 days on the phone. Like, I feel like y'all watch my videos and you know I'm so like bubbly and friendly, outgoing, all that, but I'm constantly meeting new people. Like, I'm not around anyone I know, anyone who knows me, like know me, who cares for me, who loves me, and I haven't been in a year, you know? So me and Alicia, we went to Morocco. We did Marrakesh in October. And that was like the first time I realized, like, damn, I really needed this. Like, I really needed to see my friend, and that was October, and we're in May. And so in 7 months, I haven't seen anyone I know, right? So it's like, I hate when y'all comment things like, oh, you're too friendly, oh, you're too trusting, you're this, you're that. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to be out here doing? Am I supposed to just be in the room and just by myself? Because I'm by myself. I'm always reminded I'm by myself, you know? But anyway, sorry, I don't know why I just got choked up like that, but I missed him, and my dad is so important to me because he's always been supportive of me. Like, he knows who his daughter is, you know, like he knows I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do the crazy thing. And he's just never, ever been pessimistic. To hear him say like he has anxiety and fear, he never shows that to me. Like, he's always just there, and I'm so grateful for him. I knew this was gonna happen. I told you I filmed this video so many times because it's a lot. I haven't cried on YouTube in a long time. Y'all remember that Mexico City vlog, babes? I couldn't believe y'all had me crying. All right, next question is also a YouTube question, and it says, how do you choose where you want to travel to next? What gave you the inspiration to travel the first time alone? If you would pick a place to live, where would it be? This is from Niaja. I told y'all, some of y'all ask like a million questions in one. But honestly, I don't have a formula when it comes to picking and choosing and deciding where it's next. Sometimes I literally be up at night looking on the maps, Google Maps, like, oh, I'm not far from this place, or oh, you know, this would be cool to check out, or like looking at flights randomly, like how much would it be on a Tuesday to go to XYZ, you know? So I'm a very, very spontaneous, impromptu person. Like, these trips be more spontaneous than y'all think. But yeah, I just research online. I see if it's feasible. I see if it's safe. I could maybe do another video on this, but there's really only 3 things that run through my mind when I'm thinking about a place. 1, is it safe? 1.5, is it safe for Black people? 2, is it a lot of things to do? Like, what is there to do there? You know, is it known for the water? Is it known for the history? Is it known for the food? Like, what is there to do? And then 3, I'm looking up the rules, the laws, and the regulations. Can I get down with how they all roll over there? That's really it. Can I check all these boxes? Cool. All right, did not do a deeper dive, but I want to see the world, like the entire world. So it doesn't really matter the order in which I see it. You know, there's not like I need to do this in this order. I need to see this first and then that. Like, my mind just doesn't work that way. I want to see the whole world, babe. So we're going to see it regardless, you know? And I also meet a lot of people who travel, like traveling. Yeah, no, I love my excursions. And so I meet people and I talk to them and I love hearing about where they've been. And, you know, if you tell me you've been to a cool place and you convince me I also need to check it out, I'm going to go check it out. For example, when I was in Istanbul, and y'all know I was with the Irish twins on the yacht, best day ever. They were telling me how amazing Poland is. I never in my black ass life considered going to Poland, but them Irish twins convinced me that Poland is the shit, and now I want to go to Poland. You know, so that's really how it goes, honestly. And fun fact, my first time on a plane was at 16 years old. Okay, I didn't have the privilege of traveling as a kid and, like, you know, being a baby on the beach, and I didn't even see the ocean until I was 18. I still remember that exact moment. I was in LA. And so for my 16th birthday, my dad took me to Mall of America. And that day, if I could find a picture of me in the cockpit, I'll put it on the screen. It was the best trip ever. It was freezing cold in Minnesota because y'all know I'm a January baby. And flying just ignited something in me. Like, something truly turned on and I was like, I am going to see the world. You mean to tell me we're like 20,000 feet in the air? How is this possible? And so I just got addicted to traveling, and that's where it all began. So yeah. And then that next year I became a hairstylist while I was a senior in high school. And then the following year I became a celebrity hairstylist who would travel. So I started traveling domestically, and it was within the US, but I was going LA, Phoenix, you know, Denver. Denver was actually my first solo trip where I went. I just love traveling. I feel like the more you solo travel, the more courage you get to keep doing it, you know? And so that's why I always tell people, if you're thinking about taking a solo trip out the country, make sure you take that trip in the country first. And then the last part of that question was, if you was to pick a place to live, where would it be? Right now, Nairobi is at the top of my relocation list. I absolutely love it here, and I was not expecting for this to be that outcome. So yeah. Okay, so the next question is from No Limit Nikki. If you use credit cards to earn points, list your top 3 that you would recommend for travelers. Also, can you list 5 ways to travel on a budget? As an American, what business would you invest in abroad and why? How do people abroad view America, and would you encourage Americans to relocate? Now, I took the time out to actually write my answer, so I'm going to read it word for word. Unfortunately, I do not use any credit cards. That is the one thing I genuinely regret not having set up before I left. So it's been all cash money this entire time. I know y'all about to rip me alive in the comments. Trust me, I literally kill myself about it every single day, okay? Every single day. I don't even want to think about it. However, I do know that Amex and Chase Sapphire cards come highly recommended from my travel friends, so check them out. My next trip home, I will get all that taken care of. Like, honestly, this time next year, I should be traveling for free. Like, credit card points should be paying for everything. But that's not my reality right now, and I'm not going to lie and tell you that it is, okay? So I also don't consider myself a budget traveler. Y'all know I've said this before. Nor do I want to be a budget traveler. I'm the person you come to when you want to know how to make more money to travel exactly how you want, not the other way around. Now, there are amazing budget travel creators all over the internet, so those tips are not hard to find. The most I do to go out my way to find a deal is Skyscanner, which is a free app for flights, and Get Your Guide, which is one of my 3 or 4 apps that I use for booking excursions. Also, booking Airbnbs versus hotels saves a lot of money as well on accommodations. I had a weird ass question, actually. Somebody commented and was like, why you always in Airbnbs versus 5-star hotels? Bitch, do you got 5-star hotel freaking 30-day in a row money. Excuse me. But aside from that, I love Airbnbs because you're in a more residential area. I love to cook, okay? And also, babes, I'm not here for a weekend. I'm in places months at a time. So again, booking Airbnbs versus hotels will save you some coin. And there are still Airbnbs that can cost you a pretty penny. I've had Airbnbs that cost like $3,000 a month. I'm like, God damn it, this is rent I could have been paying back home, but it would have still saved you more money than a hotel. Now, I haven't thought much about international investing outside of real estate, and even that I have zero experience to speak on, but it's definitely a pot I'll be reaching my hands into very soon. I definitely want to get some international investment properties. It's crazy because I feel like every place that I've been has been like a scouting trip almost. I do think Nairobi is a great contender. Istanbul is a great contender. Mexico, Colombia. I don't want to say Colombia because right now the housing market is so bad for locals who can't afford renting or buying. So yeah, that's something I definitely want to do. Anything outside of real estate, I haven't really thought much about or looked into. I'm not the person to help in this regard, but I'm pretty sure there's someone out there on YouTube who's probably making content around investing in Africa. Lastly, moving abroad is not for everyone. I feel like that's the move right now. People who left or people who's on, line telling people, you need to leave, you need to move, you need to that. Baby, it's not for everybody. You have to be built differently to move abroad. Then you have to see me crying at the sound of a voice note. Most people aren't built for it at all. I said it without even freaking reading it. I did a video a while back on my shocking reality after moving abroad. I'll link it down below in the description. And what people think of the US varies greatly on where you are. Even with the country being a disaster right now, most people would still love the opportunity to go and visit. Yeah, I would say that different countries I've been to feel differently about the US. They have different views. It really just depends on where you are. What I was going to say is, one thing I've noticed about people who relocate specifically to Africa are mostly retirees and they are married with kids. That is a totally different reality than someone like me that's young, hot, and single. Okay, you have so many more things to think about in both situations, right? So if you're moving with kids, you probably got to think about school. You got to think about probably buying a house. I ain't got to really think about that. But I have to think about what is the dating like, the culture, how is the business. But they have to think about different things than me. Okay, and so that's something to take into consideration as well. Like, where are you in your life? Where are you in your career? All those things are going to play a part in your decision to leave the US, amongst a million other things. All right, next question from Melanin Fire. Do you want / have you ever thought of a long-term relationship with a travel hubby? I absolutely have thought about this, which, by the way, y'all, I don't discriminate. So it does not have to be a man, okay? And it also doesn't have to be someone that I'm romantically involved with. Like, I would love to meet somebody super dope, our energies align, and they have the money and the flexibility to travel like I do, bruh. We will be the dynamic duo just traveling the world, because I told y'all I battle loneliness all the time. I don't really show it in my vlogs because y'all know I don't vlog on my bad days. So I just feel like I would love that opportunity to travel with someone. I would love it, love it, love it. It needs to happen. Can it happen like yesterday? Okay, but yeah, the thought has definitely crossed my mind. There's been so many times that I've been in situations or I've just experienced a moment where I wish I had someone there with me to experience that moment as well. But don't get it twisted, y'all. I love solo travel. I think it is the most empowering thing you can do, especially as a woman, especially as a Black woman. But yeah, there are days, there are times, there are moments where I just wish I wasn't solo. I won't lie to you. Next question from Doosley1. We're still on YouTube. You be eating all the good food. How do you stay so fine and fit? And yes, this is a real question, baby. I'm fine and I'm fit and she knows it, or he knows it. I don't know. No pronouns, okay? I have no routine. I always get asked this question. I don't go to the gym. I don't watch what I eat. I eat what I want, whenever I want, however I want. Okay, it is simply I left the US, y'all. The food is just of better quality. I will say though, I walk a lot. and I drink a lot of water, and I typically only eat like twice a day. Like I don't eat when I first wake up. I don't know what's wrong with me. Typically when I do eat a light lunch is eggs, avocado, and maybe a fruit. So I stopped eating a lot of meat when I first wake up, or any bread. Like I used to be a pancake girl. I'm still a pancake girl. But I think traveling has showed me that the way America views breakfast is so much different than the rest of the world. And so I just don't eat as heavy as I used to. And I'll also be getting back into my hobbies, because y'all know, well, actually I don't think I ever vlogged me playing tennis. Maybe one day? I don't know, but when I was living in Mexico, I really got into tennis. And so I would love to pick that back up along with other hobbies. Like I'm actually starting equestrian school, y'all. These horse races got your girl interested. So like for me, working out has to be fun or I can't do it. So get you a hobby, get you some good food, walk, walk, walk. Do not underestimate walking, y'all. If you're trying to lose weight, baby, just walk, okay? And I know it's hard because the US is not very walkable, but yeah, that's all I do. Of course, it wouldn't be a Q&A if we didn't get a group trip question. So we have a question from Tamia TV. Will you be hosting traveling trips that your followers can join? One day for sure, y'all. I think I always say that, but I will tell you what's stopping me. It's 3 things. Number 1, I have a million things on my plate right now. So group trips is just not a priority because I feel like it has to be perfect. Like every single detail has to be perfect. I want it to be the best trip of your life. I want it to be the trip your grandkids tell their grandkids about, because you wouldn't shut up about it. So that's the first thing. It's just not a sole priority for me. Second thing, there has to be a common denominator or a common interest amongst the people on the group that isn't me. That is something I wouldn't be comfortable with, and it would be too much pressure if the only thing everybody got in common is following me. No, no. So that's like something I'm working out in the back end of what would be the purpose of the trip outside of y'all just wanting to travel with me. Like I can't do that. I just can't. And then the third thing is I need to build a solid team for Jasmine Giselle. And so, you know, everything goes smoothly and everything isn't on my shoulders and it's just smooth sailing. So it's just multiple things that's affecting the fact that I have not dropped a group trip, because it's not going to be your average group trip. I see creators that I follow doing group trips. That's just not how I want to do my group trips. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're taking it back to the gram. This question says, what are you using to edit your YouTube videos? So me personally, I use Final Cut Pro, but I am no longer the editor for my channel. I have an editor. I edited all of my vlogs in 2023, all of my vlogs in 2024 up until the photo shoot. That was her first vlog that she edited on my channel. So every single video before my 50K photo shoot was me editing, and every video afterwards, excluding maybe 2, was my editor. So I use Final Cut Pro. I do edit all my Instagram reels. Go follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. And I believe Shireen uses Adobe Premiere, but again, I'll let her answer on the screen. Hope this helps. Next question. Do you think you found the place you want to invest and put roots down? It's so crazy because y'all, I promise you, I've tried to answer these questions on so many different occasions, and it feels like every single time I sit down to film these answers, my answer changes. So as of right now, I do feel like I feel like Nairobi is the first place I've seriously considered putting roots down and opening a business and just kind of learning more about the laws and the governments and what life actually looks like. I don't know if y'all have noticed that my vlogs here are very different than other places. It's about the everyday life. What does everyday life look like for me if I was to live here versus very touristy, a lot of excursions, a lot of adventures in previous countries that I visited, because that's kind of where my mind is. You know, it checks a lot of boxes for me. There's a lot of nature, it's very metropolitan, you know, it's not too far from the ocean. I could be on the coast in a 2-hour flight. How long is that flight? It may not even be 2 hours. I don't know, but it's not far. You know, it has an international airport, it's majority Black people, and those Black people are successful. Obviously, I'm aware of the wages in Kenya, but what I mean by that is there is a community of successful Black people here, a large community, and that's something that's so important for me, especially leaving Houston, which is the mecca of Black success, you know. And so I knew that I wanted to live somewhere where I was the majority, or the people who look like me was the majority and not the minority, and those people were also doing great things. And Nairobi just checks all my boxes. Like, it's amazing here. It's peaceful. The people are so welcoming. Like, they want you to come. Like, karibu, 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 come, please, you know. And I just love it here. Like, I really do see myself setting up shop. So we shall see. Okay, next question. Are you meeting up with any American vloggers to do a collab? Oh my God, y'all ask me this every freaking vlog. Like, there's a comment, you should collab with so. So I'm very excited to answer this question. As of right now, I don't have any plans to collab with any American vloggers, okay? But I'm definitely open to it. However, I just wanna say something. Just because someone is American and I'm American and we're in the same country at the same time does not warrant the need for me to do a collab, right? As y'all know, I have been collaborating with Kenyan vloggers who does not have the same audience size as me. And that's because it's not the only factor I take into consideration when looking to collaborate with someone. If our energies aren't aligning, or if you don't really have a good digital reputation, more than likely the collaboration is not going to happen, right? And so it has to feel right for me, because if it doesn't, baby, it's gonna be the worst collaboration ever. And y'all are gonna tell, because I can't hide my facial expressions. So would I be open to collaborating with other bloggers that are American? Absolutely. Will I just collaborate with any and everyone? Hell no. All right. Okay. Next question, which is a loaded one, and so is my answer. And I want to read my answer that I written down because there was no way I wanted to miss any points from this question. The question is, what lessons have you learned from being around the world with a camera? How has it changed you as a person? And what impact has it had on your family? What's crazy is I contemplated on not answering this question because of the last part. I could have easily left that part out, but this is a vulnerability session, right? So my answer, I'm gonna read it from what I wrote, and then we can dive a little bit more into it. So many lessons. I love traveling because it reminds me how little our problems are and how truly connected we are as people. The world starts to feel a lot smaller the more of it you see. So I personally have become more empathetic, a lot more patient, welcoming, laid back, committed, babes. I'm committed to spreading joy, and I don't take the little things like electricity. Girl, I had to take a cold shower in the freaking dark. You Americans, don't you ever take for granted your electric grid, clean water, grocery stores, etc. for granted anymore. I feel like unless you've traveled outside the country, you have no idea how good it is to just be able to walk in the house, turn a knob, and you have hot water coming out of the faucet, you know, to not have to deal with frequent power outages, to just know you're gonna go home and be able to turn on the TV and chill out and watch Netflix. And, you know, it's just like, you just don't realize how good we have it, even if you have it poorly. Your poor is luxury to someone else. And so traveling has just showed me that it's nothing but luck being born in the US, you know, just lucky, right? And so I'm not gonna say I don't take anything for granted, because I'm human. I definitely take things for granted probably every single damn day. But I'm a lot more conscious of it, you know? And so more than ever, just traveling, especially with my camera, I want to document every day of my life, because I look back at my vlogs every once in a while and I'm like, damn, I forgot that happened. Like, I'm so happy I vlogged that. And so it just makes me think like how much of our lives we forget. So I just want to document everything and every day and just have that to look back on. And so my kids will look back on one day, and just when I'm old and like gray, I'll be like, I was a fine whippersnapper back in the day. So I just love that. So being able to look back at moments I forgot about has just been indescribable. As far as my family, I would say it hasn't impacted them at all. Aside from my dad, y'all heard his voice message. If anything, they've erased me from their memories and could care less about what I'm doing or experiencing. My friends have become my family. Now, it's obvious I always talk about my father, and some of you respect that and leave it at that, but some of you inquire more on why that is. And it's simply because my dad is all the family that I have. Like, I don't feel like the people I'm related to are family. I feel like it's more just relatives, and that my friends are truly, truly my family. They check up on me. The distance doesn't even matter. Like, I'm so grateful for my friends because I chose the most non-traditional route I feel like you could take as a human person, you know? And so a lot of people killed me off, you know? Like, when I left, people I used to talk to every day, I didn't hear from ever again to this day, you know? And then it's like, you really realize that a lot of your relationships, whether this be someone you're related to by blood or someone you've been friends with for years, were only staying relevant in your life due to the proximity, due to y'all living within 20 minutes away from each other, with, you know, in the same city. Or when you remove that component, will the relationship survive? You know? And so that was something I really struggled with when I first left. Like, my first 3 months, I think, I expected a lot more support and a lot more interest from the people I was close with, and they just didn't give a fuck. They just didn't care, you know? And so my family is not my family. My relatives, I don't know what it is, and this is probably not even a video to really get into it, but they just don't care, you know? My grandma checks on me sometimes. Obviously, I check on her, you know, but those are the cards I was dealt, and I don't talk about it. What's the point? I don't really let that, I would say I don't let that get to me, but it does get to me sometimes. But I have amazing friendships. Like, my friends are literally my family. Like, even like I mentioned earlier in the video of my sister Shauna, who's not my real sister, obviously, but that is my sister, who had a trip planned because she's going to a wedding and decided to say, hey, I want to see you. Can you meet me here? Can we figure out dates? That's family to me. I have family who wouldn't even let me pay for them to get a passport so they can come see me in Mexico, which is 2 hours away from Houston. You know what I mean? But my girl came from Toronto, Canada to meet me in Morocco. That's family to me. So don't ask me about no family, no more. Okay? Moving on. Next question. What new projects are you working on besides the trips? Are you back working? So I'm working on a lot of projects, y'all, like so many projects, and it feels so good to just be back, you know, just kind of building something and just hustling and like learning and strategizing, and I really miss that part of me, and so it feels good. I do have new film projects that I kind of spoke on a little bit, but like, I'm just so excited for y'all to see what I'm cooking up in here. I am trying to position my brand, the Jasmine Giselle brand, for more sponsorships and just kind of opening up that world. And like I said, y'all, this is going to be my first multi-six-figure year as a content creator. Well, that's the goal. And I'm also building a new digital media business. And yeah, I got a lot going on, y'all, and it feels good. I'm not complaining about it. I'm excited. I'm happy. It's just so crazy how like all the skill sets I've acquired over the years truly keep building upon each other. And I always tell people when they DM me, how do I do what you do? Like, how do I travel? What job should I get? And honestly, my biggest piece of advice is learn new skills. Learn new skills that are transferable. Learn new skills that can set you up. If you wanted to work for yourself, you could. If you wanted to get a career in this, you could. Like, learn new skills, learn new digital technical skills, y'all. It will take you far. Because again, I haven't built a business in years, so I'm building a new business. And it is scary because it's been so long and I've been out of practice, but those skills are still there. You know, the sales skills, the marketing skills, the branding, like it doesn't really leave you. Yes, I've had to learn new platforms and learn what's happening now and what's working now. But at the core of it, babes, that skill is still there. So very excited. Next question is, do you plan to visit Dubai? I chose to answer this question because yes, I want to go to Dubai. I was supposed to go to Dubai. So I mentioned I was supposed to go home, and obviously there is no direct flights from Nairobi to Miami, which is where my dad is, and this is where I was flying into. So I was like, okay, all of the flight options were either a layover in Paris Paris or layover in Istanbul or layover in Dubai. So I was like, girl, let's go to Dubai. And so I was gonna just stay there for like a week, explore, obviously vlog for y'all, but I'm not going home, which means we're not going to Dubai right now. But do I plan to visit? Absolutely. Okay, y'all, we're back to YouTube, and the next question is from Shy, Never Giving Up Treats 5651. She wants to know, how is our old cab driver? And what do you like about Nairobi? So just like I did my dad, I hit Mahad up like, yo, they asking about you. How are you, by the way? Can you send me a voice message and let the people know? And he did just that. So let's go ahead and play Mahad's voice message. I also have not listened to it. It's 1 minute and 24 seconds long. So let's see what Mahad has to say.
Miss Giselle, oh my God, how are you? It's been a while, to be honest. I'm so glad to hear from you. I'm just want to text you, but I kind of occupied now with others. One of my clients, she got like 3 days in Jambiani. I have to move on now in east side because most of the clients are staying in the east side, Jambiani, Paje, or Bweju. So I have to move myself from Nungwi here to here because of you and because of my own good, of course, I know. And I really, really appreciate it. And I'm at the Rock. I have this birthday girl. Her name is Tamariel T, and I have with her. We are at the Rock restaurant right now. So yeah, I'm still working. I'm still on. I'm just, trying my best all I can, So sending my best regard to the guys, and anyone who want to come over to Zanzibar, they can, receiving my service anytime they want it, 24/7. I'm online. So thank you for you, my boss lady. And of course, I need to collect all of your commissions and send it to you, of course. Oh my God, Miss Giselle, thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear from you. You know that I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Asante sana. Most welcome to Zanzibar. I will just text you later soon, okay? Just you text later soon.
That's Mahad, y'all. Love Mahad. And so he's good, he says. So he sent me 1 million videos, 1 million pictures. Apparently, y'all been booking Mahad from my videos. I'll put some photos on the screen, but I'll just like cover up the people's faces. But y'all, please. First of all, thank you so much for just trusting my suggestion. Y'all saw Mahad. He's great. He's amazing. He's my favorite. But yeah, like Mahad is great and he deserves all this business. So if you plan on going to Zanzibar, book Mahad. Book Mahad, book Mahad, okay? And if you want Mahad information, I may forget to link it in this description, honestly. Go to a Zanzibar video on my channel because you need to watch it anyway, and his information is there, okay? So that answered the question. How is our old cab driver? He's great, he's booked, and he's busy, baby. And what do I like about Nairobi? I love Nairobi. I've been up in Nairobi this entire video. I love Nairobi. I love Nairobi. I have no complaints. Outside of maybe two, which is the traffic, and maybe them paved roads, which is non-existent. It's just dirt roads and they're really bumpy and they're very uncomfortable. Okay, that's my only complaint. Next question. This question is from the Seer 8618. If you found a country that you like and it required you to renounce your US citizenship, would you do that? The answer is never. I would never do that, ever. And I don't believe there's any country that required you to denounce citizenship. And if there is, I just wouldn't simply be moving there. But you're able to possess multiple citizenships at one time. That's actually a goal of mine. Like next year, I'm really gonna focus on acquiring a second passport. If you guys didn't know, you can actually acquire a second passport or third, fourth, fifth, either by birthright, if your parents have citizenship in a different country, you're able to get citizenship in that country as well, or you can do it by investment. So certain countries allow you to basically pay for a passport. You spend a certain amount of money and they give you citizenship. This could be anywhere from 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, a million. It depends on the country. Not every country does this. Some places you could live there forever and have been a resident for 20 years and they'll never give you citizenship. The UAE, for example, the UAE does not give citizenship to foreign persons, unfortunately. I don't even think if you married a UAE citizen, they would give you citizenship. Your kids would get it, but you wouldn't. And that's messed up. Okay, y'all, we're getting down to the last few. This question is from Larir. She wants to know, what sent you to Istanbul after Mexico? And I wrote out my answer. Honestly, it was the luck of a draw. I was originally supposed to go to Nairobi, y'all, which is crazy to think about because I'm here now. Filming this video. So I was supposed to go to Nairobi, and then I learned at the time of the year, which was this time of year, that it was supposed to be in the cold season, and it is in fact not cold. It's rainy season, but it's not cold. At least during the day. It does get really cold at night. Like right now, it's freezing outside. But I was under the impression that it was a lot colder. Like South Africa right now is freezing. And so I was like, I don't really feel like having winter in the summer, so let's figure out where else we're going. And Turkey was always a place I wanted to go. Istanbul has always been on my list, but I didn't know it was gonna be my base for a few months. And then I got the opportunity to go to Greece. I know, y'all, the Greece vlog is not up. I know. You don't have to say it, I know. And so once I decided I was going to Greece, I was like, well, Greece is right goddamn next door to Turkey. So it makes sense for me to just go to Turkey and be based in Istanbul. And so that's really how it happened. And it couldn't have happened any more perfect because Istanbul has my heart. I love that place. Okay, next question asks, what are your safety concerns traveling solo? And my answer is, I have the same concerns as I would at home. And if anything, I would say I have less. Y'all, these countries are not as dangerous as the media portrays them to be. There's only been a handful of times I've genuinely felt unsafe. And it's crazy because the countries that they view as the most dangerous and unsafe are the countries I felt the safest. Mexico, for example. I lived in Mexico nearly a year, and I can't recall one time I felt unsafe or in danger, ever. Not to discredit, obviously there's places in Mexico that's dangerous. It's a huge country, but that just wasn't my experience, you know? And so the same concerns. Actually, like I said, there's more concerns for my safety when I'm home than when I'm abroad. And so I would say obviously watch my back when I'm out. I don't walk anywhere alone at night. I never get into an Uber with two people in the front seat, because that's a thing that happened a lot when I was in Morocco. Two men pull up. Y'all think I'm finna get in the car? Are you dumb? Don't let anyone know where I'm staying unless I've been to their house first. And even then, there's no guarantee you're gonna know where I'm laying my head. That's just rule of thumb. Y'all know this. Always get a local SIM to stay connected, even if, you know, your data doesn't work or you're not connected to Wi-Fi. I always have a local SIM. And after my debacle in Colombia with my phone, I always have a backup phone. I have 3 phones that I travel with now. My main phone, my secondary business phone, which has the local SIM, and then like a little prop phone. You know, if I'm just in a risque area and they be trying to pocket a pick, we got this little dingy ding phone, little toy phone. Go ahead about your business. So those are my safety concerns, things I'm just always aware of. But honestly, y'all, I really don't go places if it's that damn bad. All right, y'all, last question. I don't know how long this video is, but I feel like it's a little lengthy because I'm getting parched over here. Okay, the last question is, do you miss the US? And I do. I miss it so bad. And let me be very specific. I miss Black America. You know, it's not one United States of America, baby. There's two. There's 2 United States of America. And I miss our America. You know, I miss our culture. I miss our shit talking. I miss the looks you can give somebody across the room. Y'all ain't said nothing, but y'all telepathically talking to each other. You know, I just miss certain nuances that Black Americans have. And just being in certain places and spaces have reminded me, they not like us, y'all. They not like us. They not like us. Kendrick?
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
They not like us. And I've gone back and forth with myself about the fact that I don't feel like any country is going to give me everything that I need in a place. I do feel like I'm probably going to have to live in 2 countries at once, if not 3, if not 2 continents, 3 continents. I've thought about, you know, spending summers in New York and then leaving in the winter and living in somewhere else. And I still play with that idea. I think that's most likely going to be my reality. But we talked a lot about dating and what my future holds in that regards in terms of romantic, and that would just make it even harder. That's why I'm saying, y'all, I live such an impossible life. How am I supposed to like get married and have kids if my partner doesn't have the same freedom as me? It's impossible. But that's just straying away from the question. But I do miss the US. I miss Black America. And I'm telling you, traveling has made me so proud, unapologetically proud to be Black, y'all. Like, nigga, to be able to say that, I don't take it for granted. But yeah, if you ain't seen Sinners, y'all need to go see Sinners. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel like we've covered a lot of bases. I was not expecting to cry, but I'm a crybaby, so I don't know why I didn't expect that. I really hope you guys appreciate my vulnerability, because this is probably the most vulnerable video I've ever made on the internet, actually, and I don't regret it. You know, I am aware of all the things that I said, and I'm just so grateful to have a platform where I can inspire someone and I can empower someone, and I can just like, why are you about to cry again? I receive so many heartfelt messages from y'all, and I can't respond to all of them. Like, I get emails from people who are struggling with like mental health, and like just people who are unhappy with like their career choice, or like, you know, they're just in abusive relationships, and people tell me they watch my videos and it just like helps get them through, and I don't take that lightly. Like, I know I have my battles and things I go through, and sometimes I take a break, and you know, sometimes I talk about the trolling, and I will never stop. Do y'all hear me? I will never stop making these videos for y'all, because for one, it's not even just for y'all, it's for me too. Because before I left the States, I was so depressed and suicidal, and so I wake up every day and choose happiness and choose joy, and I just want to spread that shit everywhere. You know, I just want to continue to travel, see the world, and meet great people, and like show that the world is not all doom and gloom. I don't take this shit for granted in terms of like my platform and what I'm building, and the fact that y'all are here and we just hit 70,000 subscribers. I don't take it lightly, and I don't ever want to take it lightly. I don't feel like I've ever have, because this is my third YouTube channel. This is my smallest YouTube channel, but this is the channel that means the most to me, because I feel like this channel is changing so many people's lives that I didn't really grasp how impactful it was until recently, of like, damn, like my channel is actually someone's like reminder to don't give up. You know, it's my reminder to not give up, because I just think about, what if I did? You know, I left the US April 2023. In November 2022, I don't want to leave on a sad note. I want to leave on a positive note. I want to live on a happy note. I just want to say I'm so grateful for y'all, and it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be friendly. It's okay to trust people. And I know that the world wants you to think that it's not. The world wants you hard body. The world wants you to not trust anyone. The world wants you to think that everybody is out to get you. And that's not the truth. It couldn't be farther from the truth. And let me be a walking testimony. Let me be the walking proof of that. I'm going to continue to show up. And I just thank y'all. If you made it to the end of this video, because I know it's long as hell. But thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the comments, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.